Welcome to Bible Bear News. This is where we talk about Christians. We can't have a Bible Bears News edition without talking about China. They have some new rules for the new year. Under the new rules, every aspect of religious life must now be approved by the government's Religious Affairs Department. Just everyday projects must be approved. Not only that, but they must adhere to the leadership of the Communist Party, observe the Constitution, laws and regulations, ordinances and policies, adhere to the principle of independence and self-government, adhere to the directives on religions in China, and implement the values of socialism.
Boo! You stink!
Religious organizations must also spread the principles and policies of the Chinese Communist Party, as well as national law, regulations, rules to religious personnel and religious citizens, educating religious personnel and religious citizens to support the leadership of the Chinese Communist Party, supporting the socialist system, adhering to and following the path of socialism with Chinese characteristics. So let's just stop there. This means that a church in no way can disagree with the Chinese government. Churches in America frequently disagree with government policies. Abortion is obviously a law that many Christians in America disagree with. Christians in America also often disagree with the president. We saw this recently when Christianity Today denounced President Trump and suggested he should be removed from office. Can't do that in China. If you do, they may arrest you. Or worse, tear down your church. Or worse still, arrest you, throw you in a camp, then harvest your organs to sell on the black market while you're still alive. 3 years ago, an Oregon man at the time preferred being a woman, so he convinced a judge to change his gender to non-binary, meaning he was neither male or female. So he was born a man, then he changed his gender to female, and then changed it to nothing. The case, which I had not heard of, was celebrated by the LGBT community. Unfortunately for LGBT activists, this individual urinated all over their parade this past Christmas Eve. Yeah, and he did it standing up, because guess what? He's a dude again! That's right. Jamie Shoup, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly, could be Choupé, had an Oregon judge legally restore his gender back to dude status and his identity back to James Shoup. Why? Because James said he suffered from mental illness, but suggested the mental health system was too afraid of transgender activists. So they rubber stamped him with gender dysphoria without examining his underlying behaviors. James said once he began educating himself about why he was doing the things he was doing, he was able to get back to reality. James is now an outspoken advocate against transitioning children and against allowing transgender individuals into the military. Guess who didn't get a rainbow Christmas card this year? Me? No, I'm talking about James. Sadly, because James did undergo for a while hormone therapy, he has suffered complications from taking estrogen, such as bone density issues, and now he has permanent man breasts, which are irreversible. Uncle Frank has man boobs too. It's nothing to be ashamed of, right, Frank?
I'm going to beat you into the dust.
Do you remember when Chick-fil-A broke our hearts by saying they would no longer donate to the Salvation Army and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes? Well, CEO Dan Cathy did a little bit of an about-face recently. In a letter to the president of the American Family Association, Cathy wrote, "We understand how some thought we were abandoning our long-standing support of faith-based organizations. We inadvertently discredited several outstanding organizations that have effectively served communities for years. Some also questioned if our commitment to our corporate purpose was waning. Let me state unequivocally, it is not. Since 1982, our corporate purpose daily reminds us that we are here to glorify God by being a faithful steward of all that is entrusted to us." Way to go, Mr. Cathy.
Sounds like Chick-fil-A has righted the ship, which is great, because I love their chicken breast sandwiches.
Hey, Dan Cathy, you want to see some good breasts? Check out Uncle Frank. If you were in the Persian Gulf over Christmas, you may have seen a sign of the turmoil that was to come in that region, as a pair of devil horns rose from the sea. For you Americans who actually care where other countries lie, Iran borders the Persian Gulf's eastern side. Days after these horns rose from the sea, Iran was struck with 2 minor earthquakes and a U.S. drone strike that killed one of their generals. But not to worry, there is no real correlation between these horns and those events. They were caused by a natural phenomenon called Satan.
Could it be Satan?
That's a fake laugh.
Just kidding. The phenomena is called Fata Morgana and occurs when rays of light bend as they pass through air layers of different temperatures. Similar, I suppose, to how rainbows form when rays of light bend as they pass through moisture. Open Doors, a non-denominational mission supporting Christians persecuted around the globe, has monitored Christian persecution since 1992. They track Christian persecution across 6 categories, which include social and governmental pressure on individuals, families, and congregations. They recently released a list of their top 10 countries where it's hardest to follow Jesus. And guess who is number 1? Nope, not China. Surprisingly, they aren't even in the top 10. But they are ascending the ranks and hopeful that if they continue to demolish churches, they will crack the top 20 next year. Number 1, and really this should be no surprise to us, North Korea. Followed closely by Afghanistan. I guess Afghanistan forgot that we sent them Rambo to help them repulse the Soviets. Number 3, Somalia, who is evidently still sore about Black Hawk Down. Four is Libya, and rounding out the top 5, Pakistan. Perhaps a bit surprising is India's foray into the top 10 for the first time. Now what's interesting is how the top 10 changes once the category of violence is isolated. Pakistan, Nigeria, Egypt, the Central African Republic, and Burkina Faso star in the top 5, with Colombia snarling close by in 6th position. I'd not even heard of Burkina Faso, if I'm even saying that properly. But I'm an American, and outside of Europe and the Caribbean, we don't much care where anything is, until we send our sons to war there. Now, if we isolate the jerks most likely to tear down churches, China runs away with the gold. They tore down twice as many churches as silver medalist Angola. Actually, they tore down more churches than the rest of the top 10 combined. Between November 2018 and October 2019, China flattened approximately 5,576 churches. Now, what's also very interesting about this particular list is 7 of the top 10 countries are all in Africa, the birthplace of human civilization. The U.S. now leads the world in the number of children under the age of 18 living in single-parent homes. I would say this is a dubious distinction upon which we should frown, but I don't want to shame those fathers and mothers who forfeited their parental responsibilities. After all, if we're going to start celebrating killing our babies, we can't really fuss too much about ditching our families, can we? Especially when they're still alive.
I've tried my very best to live a life of my own making, and not just a series of events that happened to me, but one that I could stand back and look at and recognize my handwriting all over, sometimes messy and scrawling, sometimes careful and precise, but one that I had carved with my own hand, and I wouldn't have been able to do this without employing a woman's right to choose.
Hey, was Michelle Williams holding a golden idol while advocating for abortion? Yeah. Yeah, she was. Alright, kids and adults, whoever's watching this, you crickets at home chirping, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you very much. Oh, wait. You guys forgetting something?
I'm not.
I'm gonna do it this week because my man boobs were made fun of. And they're called bear boobs. Thank you very much. Boys and girls, just remember to donate. You guys are all good Christians out there. Go ahead and help out a child dying of cancer today, because you know we hate cancer. We hate it. And since I have irreversible bear boobs, I run the risk of possibly having bear breast cancer one day. Yay! That's why we need to donate to hospitals, donate to St. Jude's, donate to the Children's Hospital of the King's Daughters. Just donate. Help out a child today. It doesn't cost very much. Anyway, back to Ryder. Alright guys, thank you very much. If you like that video, you know what to do. I don't even know if there's a bell notification anymore. YouTube keeps changing things, but if there is, go ahead and hit that. That way you'll be reminded of future videos that we post. Give us a thumbs up if you like that. Go ahead and comment in the comment section below. We love to hear from you. Go ahead and share it, and best of all, if you could just hit that subscribe button, that would be fantastic. Help us spread the gospel. Help us spread the Christian news. Have a blessed week. We love you.